unlosable topic for us in Malaysia, which is food.
I think that's a bit rude. If I'm going to be completely honest,
Okay.
I think that's like a little rude.
Hi everyone, I'm Apshi
I'm Natasha.
and welcome to the Woke Up Show. Hi everybody, so today is a very special episode. We're going to have a fight. This is my best friend Natasha of 21 years.
Hello.
And she's come in all the way for Singapore for this epic battle. Today we're going to be doing Singapore versus Malaysia. And Malaysia's going to win.
Okay. We'll see
So we
about
have
that.
7 different categories. Yes, 7 different categories that we're going to go through. And we're going to battle it out, see which is going to win. So we're going to start number 1, which I'm just going to automatically hand it over to Singapore. We're going to start with currency. So...
In Singapore wins. Why do you think I'm here? Right
Why
now?
are you here? With no issue, living the bougie life. There's no competition. Like Singapore is what? What's the ringgit?
$1 to 3.4 ringgit now.
That's crazy.
As of I think last week.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You guys are 3 times richer than us when we come here.
a bit,
Because
yeah.
things cost the same, right? How much does an iced oat latte at a nice cafe, how much does that cost?
$6.50, maybe $7. If you're really bougie.
Okay, like a nice 7 sing.
7 sing, yeah.
That
That's
is
like
21 ring. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
more than
that's the
21
cost in Malaysia.
Is that really?
Iced oat latte.
And did you buy it?
VCA. Yeah.
People is this like...
Buy it.
I wouldn't.
I mean, it's yummy.
I would never.
Yeah, but it seriously is so expensive.
Yeah.
I think also one thing about currency is you guys can travel more.
Yeah.
Everywhere. You can go
Yeah.
all over the world. It's not so bad. Even to the UK, the conversion is 1 point something or 2.
That I don't know. UK, I don't know. But I know Australian dollar right now is like 80 cents sing.
What?
Like one Australian dollar is 80 cents sing.
Yes.
Which is I was kind of surprised. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is great.
No, but you guys get to travel everywhere. Like, it literally opens up the world for you.
It's easier, yeah, it's easier.
Yeah. But do you think people are a bit stingier with their money?
Oh, 110%.
Like, would anybody spend... Because, average salary in Singapore is how much? 3,000?
Yeah.
That's a bit on the higher end, lah.
Yeah, no, I would say around 3,000 actually.
So, the average salary in Malaysia for people who have maybe 3-4 years of working... 2-3 years of work experience is 3,000. So, we make the
Ringgit.
same amount. That goes to actually a later point, which is standard of living, but the dollar is so much stronger, so it just goes further. So yeah, that's a short topic. That's a short category because there's no competition. But the second one, it's a tasty topic.
It's a bit sensitive for me.
In my opinion, it is a unlosable topic for us in Malaysia. Which is food.
I think that's a bit rude. If I'm going to be completely honest,
Okay.
I think that's a little rude.
In my notes, I wrote, no competition, Malaysia wins. Malaysians, I know you agree. Singaporean, what do you have to say?
So I disagree. Okay.
I need some receipts. I need some facts.
But I also kind of agree though, because I recently went to this curry house. It's supposed to be this famous curry house in Singapore.
What's it called?
Sam's Curry House?
Yeah, I think I've been
Something
there
like that,
too.
something like that. And apparently the background of the family, they came from Malaysia.
Of course.
And I was like, of course.
Of course.
I tried the food too. I tried the
was
food.
it good?
And I was like, in my head, the first thing that came into my head was, why does this taste like Malaysian food? And I was like, fuck.
Okay, we also got to give a warning that Natasha is technically Singaporean, but you grew up in Malaysia.
Yeah, so I'm technically both.
You're both.
A little bit.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
So there is I would call myself a purebred Malaysian.
Okay. Yeah, and you used to remind me of that every single day of our childhood. Oh my
But
God.
Natasha is like a fake Singaporean.
Stop.
But okay, I will just say I will give Singapore chicken rice sometimes and chili crab sometimes. But
Chili crabs sometimes. Isn't chili crab from Singapore?
nothing is from Singapore.
No, but
in
chili
my
crab
mind.
is from
Because Singapore was part of Malaysia.
No, but
Then
darling, it was invented in Singapore.
I got no facts
Was
on
it
this.
not?
I'm just
No, I
telling
think
you.
so. I don't even have the facts either.
But okay, fine. I'll give you guys chili crab.
Okay,
but I'm not going to give you nasi lemak. I'm not going to give you kuih. I'm not going to give you char kway teow. I'm not going to give you street food.
Okay. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. Yes, I agree. Okay. I mean, I have to be fair.
Yeah. But I will say in terms of like fancy restaurants, Singapore might win.
But it's like really expensive. It's
like
bloody
a fine
expensive.
dining experience.
Even like a normal experience is like fucking expensive. Yeah.
Like for what's the average price?
I think like normally when my boyfriend and I go out.
Okay, like when we went to like Yun House, it's a favorite dim sum spot. It's in Four Seasons here. You probably spend around 150 to 200 per person when you go for brunch. How much would you say you'd spend?
Okay. That's because I'm converting.
Okay, yeah, convert.
If I convert for brunch, 150 to 200, that's like what, $50?
What would smack you?
Is that not?
Yes,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So like a Yun House equivalent, how much would it cost in Singapore?
And Yun House is like very nice, right? It's in Four Seasons,
Seasons.
Right? Oh my god, yeah, 200 Sing per person maybe?
So it's dollar to dollar the same. I think that's like, because your iced coffee is so cheap that 200 Sing feels more expensive.
Yeah, it feels
your expensive iced coffee.
I can feel it, you know?
Really
like, yeah.
But I feel like you guys also have different food options. Like you have really cute bars, you have really cute restaurants.
Yeah. That's true, but not as many as you think. Well, at least like I've slowly, unfortunately, realized that
it's
kind of
really
go
small.
to you go to the same area.
Because the country is small. That's the thing about Malaysia.
Small.
Because it's
so
big. You can go to like Ipoh and you can have like the best chicken rice with bean sprouts. 2 hours. And then you go like 4 hours. You go to Penang, the best char kway teow you've ever had in your life. Like so, you can go to like you can even go to like Sarawak and you have Sarawak laksa and like. So good. I mean, I've never been to Sarawak, but I had Sarawak laksa the other day. It was so good. So in that sense, like there's more space lah.
Yeah.
For better food.
There's more space for this stuff.
There's more space for this stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So again, a very simple, easy category for us to win.
This is really rude.
Okay, but we're gonna go to culture now. That's why we have I want to hear more about Singapore culture because on my side, I would say that I've been to Singapore a few times. Never really like. Oh no, I did spend a bit of time there when I was like 10, 11. Oh, no, 13. Sorry, I was there for like 2 months or something like that. But I was just in my uncle's house, so you don't really get the vibe. Yeah. But from what I've seen as an adult, Malaysia is friendlier. It's more laid back. There is like that Asian judgment a little bit, but I kind of feel like, at least maybe I'm projecting that onto Singapore, but I kind of feel like that's more in Singapore. Also, there's no romance in Malaysia in public. You can maybe hold hands up, maybe. But there's no kissing. There's no making out in the car.
Okay, the making out, no. But I feel like I've seen some romance.
Like
here.
a little, maybe but quickly, you know. But like in Singapore, you drive down the streets, people are like dry humping in the park. Like,
yeah,
you see so much PDA in Singapore that it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking.
It's really. I don't know. I
think
don't remember
we're not used to it.
Yeah,
because Natasha came from New York to Singapore.
Yeah.
Couldn't come back to Malaysia because of the visa, even though she lived here for most of her life.
It's great.
Which sucks. But I think coming from the US, of course, that's different. People like do whatever they want there. But from Malaysia to Singapore, I was shocked. Everywhere. That's what even my friend, she was like, Apshi, Singapore is like Malaysia with PDA.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I don't know about Singapore. This one you have to tell me because I feel like in Malaysia, I really love how even though like, we have our problems with like racism in the government, like, the systems and all that, we're still like, we love the multiracialness about our country. And it's like you very rarely do you, maybe I might be speaking, I'm speaking from my experience, only my experience, please don't come after me on TikTok. They really roast me on TikTok. The slanders. But from my experience, like you don't really feel that sort of like racism that at least I've heard you speak of when you talk about Singapore. It's like I don't really feel it. Like walking around, this and that, like. But from what you said, it's like more blatant in Singapore.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about Singapore.
I think
culture-wise,
I feel bad saying this, but I feel like there's not much of a culture.
There's not much culture.
Yeah, in general.
It's so sanitized.
It is. It's like everything is just like I don't know what the word to use. Like, I don't know the appropriate word for that.
I feel like it's Asia, but without like Asianness.
I feel like it's really?
Almost not even Asian
no.
for me.
It's so Asian.
I guess no, it doesn't feel Southeast Asian.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, like, all the brown people are just like...
On the outskirts?
Nowhere to be found, yeah. Like, you see, like, maybe one or two here and there if you're, like, walking, but other than that, like, we're non-existent. And
like what is Singaporean culture? Kiasu?
Yeah, pretty much. And
That's
lining
it?
up.
Yeah, queuing. That's what I put on
Yeah,
my notes.
I saw that.
In Singapore, you will find a queue everywhere you go.
But that's because they're determined to get what they want. They're like, you know what, there's a good place. I'm going to go and I'm going to line up and I don't care how long it's going to be. Yeah, it's honestly kind of ridiculous.
Everywhere though.
But like, I get it though. I kind of respect it because I'm like, wow, you guys are like...
No, I mean in terms of like, look at the country. Like seriously, look at the country compared to Malaysia. They're so much better than us, like economically, and that comes from that kiasu attitude and the competition and all that.
Yeah.
But what did they give up?
Mental health.
Mental health.
Sanity. Please don't come for me.
I mean, everywhere there's a bit of mental health issues, but I also saw that, seen on TikTok, a lot of people talk about Singapore is like tough.
Yeah, it is. People are very judgmental. Like you say you don't feel it here. Yeah, I had never felt it before in my life until I moved to Singapore. Until I actually within the first month, I was like,
tell me about an experience.
Like it was just so much judgment everywhere, and I was like,
like people staring,
people saying things to you. Like for example, like if I just because people tend to walk a little bit slow. Like
okay, and she also came from New York, and
so that's why I'm kind of like okay, but like. I feel like they think that anything that you do that's not like the norm is disrespectful and just plain
it's like a very
weird.
Conformist country.
Yes.
The individuality is not valued.
No, absolutely not. Remember I told you about that one girl on the train?
No, tell me again.
There was this one girl that I saw on the train and she was like in full
goth. Yeah.
No, but I loved it though. And she was I think she was probably 13, 14, around there. Very
exploring herself.
Yeah, impressionable age, and she was just standing in the subway or MRT, and I was there too, and I was just kind of observing all the aunties just staring at this girl. She was in the middle, and they were all just
Even in the heart of Singapore.
Yeah, and this was in the CBD, mind you, and I was like, people, please leave this poor girl alone. You can tell that she was uncomfortable.
That's so weird.
I felt so bad. I kind of wanted to be
to say something.
Can y'all just...
But what can you say? What can you do?
Because even if you say something, they'll be like, oh my God.
Because it's also a quieter culture. I talk behind the back, never talk to the face.
Yeah, yes. And it's really kind of irritating. I kind of hate that.
Do you feel like with the... I guess, do you know any Gen Zs?
In Singapore?
In Singapore?
Apparently, I am Gen Z.
Cuspal.
We're kind of, but we're not though. No, because I saw this thing on this is completely off topic, but something called Zillennials. So that's apparently.
Oh yeah, Zillennials.
Right.
Yeah, that's us. Because we're not quite as cringe as millennials, but we're not as cool as Gen Zs.
That was all the way around.
No, but with my cousins and all, I see the Gen Z vibe, and they're like that. They will dress whatever they want, body positivity, all that wonderful things. But it's such a culture that they're not shy. They're not really that judged. Even in KL, if you go to Taman Paramount, you see, so that's the hipster part. Remember we went there? Yeah.
No, that was so nice. I loved it.
Yeah, but you saw that everybody's dressed however they want, but they're also not they're not judged for it.
Yeah.
And in Singapore, that wouldn't be the case.
No, that wouldn't be the case. There would be people walking by and staring and being probably talking amongst themselves or whatever.
Even amongst people our age? Or is it just the older people? Because I think that there's a level of detachment that I feel from the older people that I don't really see them because we also drive here. So because you drive everywhere, you're not, unless you do take public transport, which I don't, so you don't really interact with that many people on that scale versus taking public transport.
That's true.
So maybe I just don't see it.
I mean, to be honest, and I hope none of my colleagues see this, but you get it in the workplace. Because I know some people, at my workplace, they dress kind of it's not even different, to be honest. Like, I love how
they have their own style.
Basically. They have their own style, yeah. Like, I kind of like, I love it, like, you know, but some people will kind of, you know, not say very nice things. And like,
they'll say something.
Oh, they'll say something to each other. Oh. You know, but then like to their face, they're like, hi. I'm like, fucking two-faced. Like, I'm like, yeah, I don't like that. You
felt that more in Singapore than you even felt when you lived in KL?
Yeah, anywhere. Anywhere. Like, it's, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I was going to say work culture is another thing because like, even in the corporate, when I worked at a corporate, it was a very positive work culture. Like, yeah, there was all the annoyances and red tape and bureaucracy, whatever lah. Yeah. But the people were super nice. And like, I never felt that like cutthroat, like I'm gonna step on you to get ahead. I did have a colleague steal my ID on my first week. I'm still holding that grudge.
Oh, no.
But
that's crazy.
I know, but like that, I let it go. It's like, no, I don't. But it's like a mistake or whatever. But even when I, as far as I've seen it, even with my friends and all that, like the work culture is pretty chill. Like there is the moments, like, I mean, in any job that you are working late and all that, but that cutthroat attitude is not a general attitude, it's people. But you feel like it's a general attitude there?
I think it's a general attitude over there.
Did you like working there?
I like working for the money because of the currency. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah. It's purely because of the currency.
It's a job. What else is it for?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
As opposed to New York?
Oh no, I prefer working in New York.
What's the difference?
Like the environment or like...
Just the vibe of working.
The vibe, I would say New York was way more... Like people were way more open to being supportive of one another if you made any mistakes. And like in a project, for example, they were a little bit more willing to be open to collaboration in a way that's like kind of supporting one another's ideas rather than like trashing someone down. Not exactly, okay, trashing is very harsh, but like kind of shooting someone's opinion down just because you think that they're right, kind of. You know,
that's more like we're a team, and you feel like in Singapore, it's I'm me and you're you, and we just work on this project.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's, yeah. And you I don't know, at least in where I work, you kind of feel it a little bit more. But it could just be my work environment too.
You worked in 2 companies, right, in Singapore?
Yeah, the first one was run by expats. Like all of the leadership were expats. So I think that definitely...
There was more of
trickled
the
down
Western
to the
culture.
Yes, yeah. So it definitely trickled down to all the employees there. Okay. But now I'm in a more Asian...
The more Singaporean
company, yeah. So
that's always something that I have in my mind because at one point I just was like mentally thinking, like, oh, what if I got a job in Singapore? But I was like, do I want to work in Singapore?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. No, I don't think you would want to work there.
I would just be like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah, sometimes I genuinely like can't deal with it.
Yeah.
I just don't like going to the office sometimes because of that.
Yeah, because you don't want to be triggered at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel much safer at my home. Like at my desk.
Thank God at least the pandemic for giving us work from home. So I have another impression about Singapore is that it's very money-minded. Do you think that's true? Like
money-minded in what way though?
So, okay. I don't know if I'm right because also in Malaysia we care about money, of course. Like look at the cars. Like people like parade their wealth in their cars in Malaysia a lot. But in my mind, like Singapore just feels like more capitalist than Malaysia. Like Malaysia has more lepa, more more of this like culture. And then like this one thing I've heard about Singapore so many times is the 5 C's. Condominium, cash, sorry, my brain. Cash, credit card, condominium, country club, and car. Why you need a car? I still don't know.
The car is a big flex.
Oh, the car is a big flex.
Apparently, that's the only reason why people will get a car. Like, unless, like, obviously they live, like, far in the east or west. And they work in the CBD area. And that's, like, you need to be right in the middle.
I imagine the parking is so expensive.
Oh, the parking is ridiculously expensive, yeah. Like, I think it's very difficult to get a parking spot. Like, a parking spot, yeah. You have to get, like, a monthly... You have to pay like a monthly thing. I don't know anything about cars.
So another big sign of wealth is having a fancy car in Singapore.
Or having a car in general.
Oh, just having a car.
Just having a car in general is like a flex. Apparently, according to people, I like.
And also I mean the condominium is also so small. Oh my God.
It is a struggle. It is a full-on struggle.
Natasha and I mean, I guess, sorry, we'll go back into that later because that goes into standard of living. But like, in terms of culture, I don't know lah. Malaysian culture is more suited to me. Do you feel like Singaporean culture is more suited to you?
Sometimes it can be good for the workspace. I know that just kind of like contradicts like some of the things that I just said.
It's okay, we're only human.
No, but sometimes it kind of pushes you, you know, like you like really like.
I also need pressure to work well.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know if that's a Singaporean in me coming out.
That's
but
a dancer in you coming out.
That's true. Yeah, the competitiveness. You know?
Yeah, you need a bit of that.
Yeah, the want to be better.
I need to be number.
Yes, I need to be number one. Yes. Exactly, yeah. But in general, I think Malaysian culture definitely suits me more.
I think there's just lepak that we have here is like...
It's chill, right?
Lepak just means we all chill together, hang out.
Yeah.
That culture permeates everything.
Yeah.
So that kind of vibe, it almost is a beach culture kind of vibe, but I haven't really seen it in any other country.
Just very, I feel like New York is kind of like that. No, not beach vibe, but like chill. People are more chill. Do you not think so? In New York,
you think people are chill?
Yes. Like,
I feel like that's why you've been living in Singapore too long.
No, I feel like, yeah, maybe. And it's only been like, what, 2 years? Oh my God.
I feel like New York is not as intense as people think it is, but it's also not chill.
I don't know. I feel like it's so chill. I feel like it's so nice.
I think it's Western, so people mind their business a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it feel like it's chill, but it's also like fast-paced, get out of my way, that kind of, you know.
Oh, when you're on the public transport?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which, I mean, I used to be the person
that's like,
exactly. Why are you walking so fucking slow?
Exactly. I remember you being like,
oh my God, me with my tiny little legs, just like...
Oh my God.
But I feel like Singapore, maybe they're not so aggressive. Passive-aggressive.
Very passive-aggressive.
Same here lah. That one, Malaysia is so passive-aggressive.
Really?
Of course. We're Asian at the end of the day. Next one. We just jump a bit lah. The next one we're going to talk about corruption.
No. So Malaysia wins. Then moving on.
I mean,
I'm kidding.
Everybody's laughing.
Yeah, exactly. Because everyone's like,
yes. Because it's blatant. We can't even deny the fact. In Malaysia, we have corruption. It's blatant. They've ranked us top in the world for corruption. We win at some things. Okay, guys?
Is it actually?
Pretty high up. I mean, like, we can't beat, like, some other countries, like, some of the South American countries because of, like, the cartels and all that. But it ain't good. It ain't good, babes. I mean, if 1MDB can happen, and just like that happen, and there was so much like question mark if Najib would actually go to jail. Like, obviously the corruption is so bad.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's also just a general, like, I was in Sweden last year and we were hanging out with some Swedish people and I was just talking to them, like, we were just asking them about their country and everything. And they said they really trust the government and they really trust the police. And I was like, that's really interesting because most countries you don't hear. Even America, they don't always trust the government or their police. And in Malaysia, like in some ways, I love that our government has like free healthcare. And, you know, we do some semi-good things, but in general, like there's so many policies, so many things that need to change, and so much corruption that keeps coming out over and over and over again. And then it's suddenly like, oh, this many $1 billion were appropriated from the pandemic, and this and that. And you just like, every time stuff comes out, that there's no trust. People don't trust. But I also think that because of the distrust and because like we never feel like laws are hard and fast, we get the chill culture. Yeah. So it kind of like, we also kind of, we like it in a way. In a fucked up way. Enjoy the corruption, take advantage of it. Like kind of just like, because it exists, we don't feel that tight feeling, which I've always feel in Singapore is like, follow the rules, make sure you follow the rules. 100%. But do you feel like there's any corruption there?
No, I don't think so. There really isn't. People are so straight-edged. Yeah, that's the right word. Yeah, phrase, sorry. Yeah. There's absolutely no corruption. Not that at least I've seen. I've only been there for 2 years too. So I can't really
I mean, if it's not in your face, I'm sure, I mean, I think every government has its levels of corruption, but like, I think that's the thing, that it's blatant here, it's not there. Maybe there is nothing even there, but then it also gives me this thing where like the rules are so unkind in Singapore. It's too strict. Like, I don't know if you heard about this like Indian man. Now I can't remember what his name was, but he had a mental disability. He was found with a small amount of heroin and they hung him. And when you look back at the history of his life, because he was super poor, there's a cycle of poverty that happened there that made it so that he eventually landed with drugs in his hand and he got caught by the police. There was no empathy. They hung him. Yeah. He's mentally disabled.
Yeah. I read about that.
You read about that, right? Yeah, it was a big deal. Sad. Everybody tried to stop it from happening, but that's when I feel like... That's why I almost say I can't fuck with Singapore, because it's like, where's the empathy? Where's the...
There's no leeway. Like, they don't cut anyone slack.
Yeah.
It's like if you did something, you kind of have to like pay for the time. Like, you did what you did. Kind of, that's how it is there.
But because of that, you're safe?
Yes, that's true.
You feel like, super safe?
Super safe. I can go out in the middle of the night. I can just like walk around like anywhere. And I feel completely fine. I know I'll be safe. And the response time as well for the police as well, at least from what I've seen, because of something that happened in my apartment building. It's like that. Like, it's crazy.
So fun.
And recently there was this woman who like apparently attacked her husband for like wanting a divorce or whatever. Within 4 hours of like landing in Singapore, like they arrested her already. Wow. And then brought her to jail and everything. Like charged her and everything. I was like, that's crazy. Within 4 hours.
Have there been any scandals with the ministers and anything like that in Singapore?
No, not that I've seen. Not at least while I've been there.
That's the thing. It's a daily headline for us.
No. Oh, no.
If Yuzu tries to keep up with the politics, we'll be exhausted.
Oh, no.
But I don't know, like, because I feel like there is... Do you also feel like the people uphold the law a lot? Like, if you were to do something like... If you were just, say, doing drugs...
Oh, my God.
Like, outside your condo in Singapore, people will call the cops on you?
If they know, if it's like in their face, yes. And I think if you're doing it in front of the wrong people, yes.
They'll tell on you.
They will tell on you, yeah. But other than that, I think they will just kind of look at you funny and just judge you. That's their favorite thing to do.
But you can't feel certain that even your neighbors will mind their business.
Yeah.
You can't feel certain with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, nobody's going to like it in Malaysia if you're standing around doing drugs in front of the condo or anything. But I'm doubtful that people will call the cops on you.
In Malaysia?
I don't think so.
Yeah. There's a risk in Singapore.
Yeah, I think
a risk.
It's if you happen to get caught, then you shouldn't have been doing it.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get snitched on so much, I feel, here.
Yeah. I agree with that. When I was at work...
Snitches get stitches.
When I was at work and I was talking to my colleagues about the weed legalization in Thailand, and the first thing that came out of their mouth was that, oh, you can't smoke weed though because it's illegal. We can't. We're Singaporean citizens. I was like,
even in Thailand?
Yeah, we can't do it even when we're like out of our country.
Like your laws still apply wherever in the world you are.
If you're a citizen, the laws still apply to you wherever you are.
I don't even know what the case is in Malaysia for that.
I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that's a thing anywhere else. Well, I don't know. I haven't really Googled it.
I don't know. We don't know, but
yeah.
I mean, I would think that whatever country you're in, that's the laws you are held to. When you're in Singapore, your behavior, you do as such.
Yeah.
That's just respecting a country, but yeah, corruption, we've been... Love it.
Yay.
Love it. I love it here.
I
really
Singapore.
do.
Oh no, actually,
that's one for us.
Oh no, that's all for us. Oh no, sorry.
Actually, you only won currency. We won everything else. Food, culture, and corruption.
I would say food is like a tie.
No.
Food is a tie.
Hard no. Okay, next one. Standard of living. Okay, this one I feel like will be really interesting because I feel like in Malaysia, generally, if you're rich, it's great. Anywhere in the world, if you're rich, it's great. But things are really expensive. And if thinking about how we earn the same amount, if I'm earning 3,000, you're earning 3,000, I'm spending 20 ringgit, which is a higher percentage of my salary than you on a coffee.
Yeah.
And that already brings our standard of living down.
Yeah.
But when I did a little research, the average cost of living in Malaysia, because you don't need to be buying coffee from VCI. You can go and buy a Nescafe from the Mamak for 2-3 ringgit. But the average cost of living in Malaysia is 81% less expensive than Singapore. So even if you're earning 3,000 ringgit, everything is cheaper because the country is bigger. And so, but Malaysia is only, okay, Malaysia is the 142nd most expensive country to live in. Singapore is the second most expensive country in the world to live in.
I thought it was tied with New York as first.
New York is first?
Yeah.
Oh, America. Not sure. I'm not sure what the country is.
Oh, city. Sorry,
it's country. But Singapore is the second most expensive. So just that alone, I feel like I think it's almost cheaper to be rich in this country than it is in Singapore, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like public transport sucks here though.
How much is the public transport?
It's not about the price, babes.
No, but how much is it though?
I don't know. Anybody? How much is the public transport? Any idea?
Does no one take the public transport? Yeah.
Nobody here knows.
One station will cost you about 1 ringgit.
1 ringgit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's cheap.
Yeah, that's right.
Most people can afford the public transport. However, to get from my house to a station, tak boleh. You have to like, get on a bus that gets you to the MRT and you have to change to the LRT. It's not like New York or Singapore where there's a stop everywhere, the system is organized. It's like a big mess here. They are trying to make it better, but like, if there's no direct station walkable from your home, how inclined are you to take a bus to a train to another train?
A lot of people do that though in Singapore.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. Well, I remember when I stayed with my grandmother for like a bit, because she lives like far in the east. I had to take a bus to the train station and then the train to another train to get to my office.
But from door to door, how long did it take you?
Door to door, from
your grandma's house to your
the office?
Yeah.
An hour.
An hour. Yeah, I would say that like we have that also in Malaysia, but you wouldn't need to be, if you're not coming from somewhere far. Like even if you're coming from probably Mont Kiara to Kota Damansara, it might take you 45 minutes to an hour. Because also the train times are unreliable, the trains break down, it's just like not a reliable public transport system, and also it is not a walkable city. You cannot walk here, like it's almost dangerous. You're ready to walk on the side of the highway? Like that's not gonna happen. For me, Singapore, so safe. Like even where I live, where I've lived my whole life, I wouldn't walk alone at night.
Yeah.
I would not do that. I've done it once when I was tipsy, and that's the only reason I did it. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Stupid. But exactly, you would ask me. You would ask me that question, and I live in a really nice part of town in Malaysia. So like, even then, I don't feel safe.
Yeah.
And Singapore, I always felt safe. Like I never had for even a moment felt scared. I think some of the fear I had came from my fear from Malaysia, but not because of Singapore. The walkability is amazing. Because I know, like one of my friends, like she doesn't love driving, and like I love driving, so I'm okay with it. But if I hated driving, I'd want to at least have the option to take the train, you know. Also the tiny apartments. Oh my God.
The tiny apartments are hell.
And my other friend, I was just there. She showed me her apartment. My other friend showed me her apartment, paying through the roof. And the apartment is so small.
It is. It's really small. It's also because of the area that I live in, though, to be honest.
No, but like you could live in like the heart of KL, and your apartment would, if you paid how much you paid, the apartment would be bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. In Malaysia. Right?
In Malaysia. That comes from space, lah.
Yeah. What would that equivalent be? Like where I stay?
You probably stay in Ampang, in the nice fancy part of Ampang.
Oh. And how much would it be there?
I think you could get it like a 1-bedroom for 2,800, 3,000, 4,000 ringgit. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Really nice one, maybe 7,000, like a really nice apartment. That's really expensive actually. And also I looked up houses in Singapore, like bungalow houses. Oh my God. So expensive. Like, oh my God.
Because there's barely any.
And like, they look like just the normal houses, not even like a fancy Tropicana mansion. They just look like little bungalows that you would see in like, you know, the individual bungalows you see in a nice part of town.
Yeah.
But it's like 30 million Sing, 20 million Sing. Yeah. And it just looks so normal.
Yeah. Because there's barely any houses. There's barely any like landed property there. Yeah.
But that just like, it seems like why would you spend that kind of money on such a normal house if you just simply have money coming out of your booty?
Yeah.
But another thing is also public school.
Public school?
In Singapore. At least from what I've heard in my research, it's way better, but also traumatizing.
I can't say, because thankfully I did not go to public school over there. But from what I have heard, it is actually very traumatizing.
Because it's very competitive, very strict. Like, you know, we hear of certain schools in Malaysia that they have that, like, really strict vibe. But generally, public schools here, okay lah. If you get good teachers, you're lucky. But in general, they're not paid enough to care that much, you know. So public school is not... It's not bad. I would not say the public school system is so bad or anything, but it could be way, way, way better. And Singapore's is just way better.
Yeah.
But they're strict lah, so...
How much are the public schools here? Just curious.
I don't know. Anybody know? Free? I think it's free.
Is it free?
I think it's free. I think you have to... Or maybe it's a very small cost, like less than 500 for the year.
Yeah.
And then you also have to buy the school books, which are also not expensive.
Oh, okay.
Everything is subsidized.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's like around the same then.
Yeah. But what do you think? Standard of living, Malaysia versus Singapore?
Malaysia is definitely fucking cheaper.
Way cheaper.
Like, so much cheaper. I don't know how much you pay for groceries though. Like eggs. Like a carton of eggs. Like nicer eggs.
15 ringgit?
Not the nicest.
15 ringgit? Yeah. Singapore?
My eggs are 4 Sing.
Yeah, that's a higher standard of living,
Which
dude.
is like, yeah.
That's a nice eggs.
Yeah.
That's a higher standard of living. You go to a grocery store, 1 week of groceries is about 50 Sing?
1 week?
Yeah.
Oh my god, no.
More?
That's like a few days.
Like how much?
At least every 3 days I end up paying maybe $60.
So you spend over...
But I eat a lot, so...
Okay lah, but you would say maybe like 300 Sing a month? 400 Sing a month?
I would say more than 400.
400 a month?
Yeah.
I think in Malaysia you would probably spend 500 ringgit. No, and that's also shopping at a really bougie grocery store.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That must be so nice.
For one person though.
But the thing
per
is
per person I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about person as well.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is that people there, I feel in Singapore, they don't really cook at home that much. They always
more
take out.
eating out.
Eating out or take away from the hawker center, from what I've seen. And also hearing from my colleagues and stuff like that and people that I know, no one really likes to cook at home.
Really?
Yeah. People love to just take away because it's so much cheaper to go and buy from the hawker center and then bring it home and eat rather than, or eat at the hawker center rather than just buy groceries and make your own meal. Yeah.
And that's also culture lah.
Do you think so? Culture of Singapore.
So. I think that's a culture thing. It's also an expense thing, but I don't know. I guess I always have the mindset I always find it so much cheaper to eat at home.
Oh no, me too.
Yeah.
Well, not really now when I think about it.
Now
but I guess
if you want we're breaking down the numbers.
No, but if you want to eat, like, I feel like, you know, healthier food that you know what's in it.
Yeah, and I'm also talking about like very fancy grocery stores, like Cura and Village Grocer, which are like probably the fanciest grocery store. If you went to like NSK, right? Yeah, it's like way cheaper, way cheaper. That's like if I'm not wrong, that's where it's subsidized a lot of the food.
I think the equivalent to that is fair price in Singapore, and I think the eggs I've bought there are like, oh no, there's like $3.95. It's not even that much.
Not that much cheaper.
Yeah, and that's like the like normal-ish.
But what also with the smaller apartments? Are you affected by that?
A little bit, but I'm kind of used to it because like New York wasn't that much different.
New York was so tiny, so tiny.
So I'm kind of okay with it, but do I wish it was bigger? Absolutely. 100%.
I think if I went from New York to Singapore, I would also be okay with it. But now that I've come to KL, even when I lived with my parents and now I'm living by myself, the apartments are spacious.
Oh no, when I go to your house, I'm like, oh my, it's this
mansion. The mansion.
Can I live
It's a condo.
It's like literally your place is twice the size as mine.
Stacked.
Literally. No, but like, and your rent is like,
I mean, yeah.
It's significantly less than mine.
I mean, if you convert it.
If you convert it, yeah.
Yeah. If you dollar to dollar it, maybe not.
Oh, you think so?
I don't know. We'll talk about it later. I'm not going to tell you guys what the rent of my condo is.
TMI.
But what do you think? I honestly feel like this question, there's no winner. Because standard, it really depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah, your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I like to drive. I like my chill culture. At this point, 20 ringgit latte is expensive, but I can afford it, so it's okay for me. And not every single day, unless my mom's buying it for me. But I don't know, even with groceries and everything, I feel like it's okay. I like the culture in Malaysia. I think the standard living is okay, but I also know I'm very privileged. I wonder if I earned less, if I earned something like 2008, 2001 a month, if I would even be able to live by myself, if I could do all these things.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. If I was taking public transport every day, would I feel that the standard of living is lower? Because I do think in Singapore, if you have a little bit less money, your standard of living is not much lower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Because even like, I think that's the beautiful thing about public transport. It's rich, like poorer, whatever you may be.
Everyone takes a public transport in Singapore.
Because it's only smart.
Yeah.
Why would you get stuck in traffic?
Yeah.
So
they have stops like every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like every 5-minute drive, like someone actually recorded it. It was every 5 minutes as a stop in Singapore. As a train stop.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I love it.
No, it's beautiful.
And they're expanding it too.
And it's also cheap, right? Do you have a monthly pass?
No,
I don't have stuff like that.
I top up. No, there is, I think, but I just like top up. But I think it's like maybe 50. The cheapest I paid is maybe like 50 something cents. But that was, I think, I was just going one stop.
It depends on how far you go, lah.
It depends on how far you go. Yeah.
Because in New York, you swipe, it's $2.75.
Yeah.
It's like
that.
The
days.
Wherever you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we leave this at a tie. Okay, we've got just 2 more. Let's talk about freedom.
Oh, God.
Last one this is the last category, actually. After this, just personal opinion. So, freedom. Malaysia, there's no free speech. It doesn't exist. This show, we gotta be careful. Because
wait, I thought that was free speech in Malaysia.
No speech. You can't do satire. Therefore, like, you cannot, like, if I wanted to make a skit about a royalty, hell nah, I can go to jail.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I will go to jail if I do that.
Oh.
It's not allowed. Even comedy, you have to be so careful. There was a comedian who got his comedy club shut down.
Oh, yeah,
you saw that, right?
I saw that, yeah.
And something that he didn't even do. So political jokes, you have to be so careful. You have to make the right kind of jokes, the smart kind of jokes. If you make a stupid joke, you can literally go to jail. And you can lose your comedy club. Like, you can lose your business. And there's no uncensored woke-up show. Like, we can't say whatever we want. We have to cut things. Even sometimes we put clips out there and people literally are like, maybe we should call the cops. And we're like, we're not trying too hard. Isn't that crazy? That's why we always say, speak only facts in Malaysia. When you talk about all these things, only speak facts. Because the minute you put your opinion there, your freedom is taken away. You can't do that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Even in terms of like, because the country is more of a conservative country, even though we live, like I feel like every part you've been around in KL, unless, have you been to the other states?
No.
Not so much, right? Not the more kampong kind of states?
I've never been.
No.
Yeah.
So like where we live, which is the Klang Valley, and especially like Bangsa, TTDI, Mon Kiara, Bukit Damansara, all these, even PJ, all these areas, they're so... they're the liberal bubble. So even then, like, you can dress kind of sexy, you can wear whatever you want, but if you show your body, you always, regardless of where you are, even in the liberal parts of town, you are scared of verbal or physical assault because people can... You're scared. You're just scared for your life. Basically, you're perpetually scared for your life. And as a woman, we already are. But if you have your tits out, you have your tummy out, you have your booty out, whatever it may be, you have to be careful. If you go to, like, a public beach, you wouldn't necessarily wear just a bikini like that. If you went to a waterfall, you wouldn't really wear a bikini like that unless you knew, like, you're really going to find a place alone. Because even I've been to a waterfall, and I think we were wearing shorts. It doesn't matter what we were wearing, but men was taking pictures of us.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then one of my friends, he went up to them and he made them delete it.
Ew.
And it was like zoomed in pictures of my boobs, pictures of my friends, like all of that kind of thing. It impedes on your freedom because the conservatism has permeated the whole culture. And so then people think it's okay to do things like that. But on the flip side, because the country is not so strict with rules, it's more lenient, we have other kind of freedoms. So, yes and no lah. But what about Singapore?
in terms of that
free speech?
kind of freedom,
is free speech allowed?
Free speech, no.
Can you make fun of the government?
I don't think so. I don't think anyone really would, to be
Nothing
completely
to be
honest.
made fun of.
Yeah, that, and also I feel like everyone kind of loves the government a little bit.
Do you think that also comes from NHS?
So.
The national is it NHS? No, NS.
NS.
What is
National Service,
NHS?
right?
Is the British healthcare.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
NS.
Wait. Yeah, NS.
Because everybody serves the government, you know, all the men at least.
They call it serve the country.
Serves the country.
There's
sorry.
they have like a logo too. They all get like these shirts. Guys, see, I saw it because my boyfriend has it.
He also served it.
Of course, he has to. He has to. His PR.
Oh.
If not, he won't. He'll get his PR revoked. Because he's second generation
This
PR.
so white boy all up in NS.
I know, right? I was like, okay. Good luck.
Like, you know that one white guy this teenager from Singapore who lived in Singapore, his Chinese as fuck accent, and he was like a British guy.
Oh,
so funny.
wait, what is this?
I'll show you later, but that's James.
That is James. No, that is. Oh, wait, don't say his name.
I'll censor it.
That is him. That is him.
But
honestly.
I also think that when everybody serves the country like that, you tend to get a bit more nationalistic. Not in necessarily a bad way.
Yeah. So I don't think that they would really want to make fun of the government or make fun of anything to do with the country, to be completely honest. They're very proud.
Singaporeans love being Singaporean.
Yes. I mean, that was me when we were kids. You remember? I was like, she would say I was Malaysian, and I'll be like, don't call me Malaysian. I'm a Singaporean. Like, so fucking proud. Now I'm like, yeah, I'm Singaporean. Like, now I kind of get it. Now
you get the slander.
Yeah, no. Yeah, now after living there, I'm like,
Yeah. But do you feel free?
Yeah, I feel free. Yeah, I feel I can do whatever I want. Well, apart from certain things that are...
things that are against the law is different. But like within the law, you can wear what you want. You can go out.
Actually, the wearing what you want, not really. If I'm going to be completely honest, I feel like, at least in the area that I actually know, it's the whole of Singapore. Like, everyone kind of dresses to a certain standard. Like, everyone looks quite put together. Like
business cash.
Business cash, yes. When I wear shorts, like, and I'm talking like, okay, like kind of like booty shorts a little bit.
Show off that body.
Like when
she working in the gym.
Yeah, what I go to the gym for? No, I'm kidding. But when I wear like, like kind of like cute little booty shorts and like a little tube top, people are like, because the girls there will.
But it's not a conservative country,
It's
right?
not, but everyone dresses very proper. And like the girls will dress very like lady, like I'll say. Like it's very cute. It's very cute. It's very cute.
Is that more culture, or is that more like, do you feel like that impedes on your freedom?
A little bit. Ever since moving there, like when I first moved there, I was not so aware of it. So I didn't really care about how I looked when I went out. Like I was just like wear whatever, like no makeup, like nothing, like you know what I mean? But like now that I'm living there, I see people like, they'll have their face on, they will have like cute little dresses, like, they'll kind of all wear the same, like, kind of like cute little sandals.
Kind of sounds like Sweden. Because Sweden is like that. Like, they are like black, white, grey, neutrals. Like, even me and Aishi, like my sister, we went out like clubbing there, and we asked the girls like, hey, what should we wear? Like, what's the vibe? She was like, blazers. And I was like, blazers? Have you met me? Girl, I'm going to wear pink. And
like actual blazers?
Like a blazer, maybe like a little top inside. Like, they're not conservative. Okay. So you can show your body.
Was it a colorful blazer?
No, it's black. Everything is like, it's business casual. Maybe a bit sexy because you're going out for a night out. But it's not like here. Here you get the colors. There's so much. Even New York, there's so much life. Like Sweden is very sanitized. And I think Singapore gives me that vibe too.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Like technically you're free lah.
Yeah. Have you heard that TikTok audio where it's like this auntie on the train that's yelling at someone, yelling at a girl? She's like, dress properly. Like, okay, I'm not gonna repeat the audio because it's just embarrassing.
Not woke.
But it's something like that, and it's this auntie who was yelling at this girl on the train. I'm pretty sure it was from Singapore. The Singlish was there. I could hear it. It was like talking. She was pretty much yelling at her, telling her to dress properly, and I think she was just wearing like I don't know, like normal casual clothes. Like like sneakers is one thing I feel like I don't see any girls wear. I feel like I'm the only female in Singapore that
Oh,
loves
you know
sneakers.
sneakers?
No.
And you are a walking city. You see, already Singapore loses.
Like
for
they
me.
wear like the sandals, which is cute. I love the sandals. It makes me want to like, look at me with my sandals now. I'm
Look
like,
at me, my sneaks.
this is what I'm saying. Like I would never, you know what I mean? Like I normally would wear
It's
sneakers.
not the style.
Yeah, this is actually very Singaporean.
You kind of go into the style of the country that you live in. That's just kind of it.
Yeah.
So freedom, who wins?
I think it's a tie.
I think it's a tie too.
Yeah.
Because we are free in certain ways that you are not free, and you are free in certain ways that we are not free. Okay, so final thoughts. Give me your final thoughts. Singapore, Malaysia.
Like in what way?
Okay, I can go first.
In what way?
So to me, Singapore, I think it's a great country. I think like as a Malaysian, to see they were part of Malaysia, to see them achieve what they have, especially with the Sing dollar against the ringgit, it's kind of disheartening that like, why couldn't we do that too? Because of so much oil in this country, like why haven't we been able to achieve that? But also Singapore doesn't feel like Asia to me. It doesn't feel like Southeast Asia at least. I have never been to like Japan or Korea or China, so maybe it might feel more Chinese because there's more Chinese people there than here. But it's just like Singapore is just not for me. It's like way too strict, way too sanitized, and the apartments are small and not with va-va-voom. Like if you're in New York, if you're in Paris, like you get New York and you get Paris and you're even in a small apartment. Yeah, I get but Singapore, seriously? What am I going to go to Sentosa on the weekend?
The slander. Oh my God. But you're not.
Like at least for me, this is just my personal opinion. But one thing I do like about Singapore is you can like PDA.
Number one thing, PDA.
Number one thing, PDA, I'm there. But no.
If Malaysia had PDA?
Perfect country, I would never leave.
Absolutely.
No, but I also I love Malaysia. I'm a Malaysian gal, but you guys know I'm critical of this country because I love the country. Like I'm not criticizing it without hope that it can get better. I really wish we could do more. We could elevate our ringgit. We could, I don't know, as much as I said, like, we do enjoy the corruption, I don't want it. Like, I will take it away. Like, if we could live without it, we could be a better country, that would be great. But Malaysia always wins for me. Literally against any country in the world. There's, like, no other country that can beat Malaysia for me.
Okay, so Malaysia has a very special place in my heart.
I mean, it's your childhood home.
Yeah, like I grew up here and, I do love the culture here. But when I was living here, I do remember certain things that I did not enjoy about this country. Yeah. Like you mentioned, like the safety thing
and
was
also,
the number
Natasha,
one.
you are also Muslim. So in Malaysia, I do think that when you are Muslim, like you have like more rules than non-Muslims have. And that might feel pressure.
There's more things you have to be aware of.
Yeah.
I think if you're Muslim here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also that like, because the country has more Muslim people as well, then you also feel pressure to abide by certain rules and like, whatever that means. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like everybody's religion is their own, or like not it's not negative, but it can be tough to feel like you need to stick to the status quo even within your own personal religion.
Yeah, I think that was one thing I forgot about, like being judged based on my religion. Like, because obviously when I walk around here, that I'm going to be Muslim.
Yeah, people will think you're Malay.
Yeah. So
even though she's not.
But that's one thing that I haven't felt in a very long time, especially being in New York and then coming to Singapore. Never felt it. Like if I wore like shorts or like even this, like right now, like I don't think I would have worn this when I was living here.
Yeah. Because I mean, at the end of the day, your expression of who you are and your religion, it's personal.
Yeah. But I feel like a lot of people don't really get that
They don't get that here, no.
Yeah, especially if like you're, in this country in particular, I feel like they're very like, if you're a Muslim, you have to be covered up.
And I also think that if we were Christian and we lived in a super Catholic country, we would feel it too. You know what I mean? It's like whatever country where the majority religion is, it's strong in the culture, you will feel it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So yeah, that's like a few of the things that I think I don't really agree with for Malaysia, but for Singapore, I think for me, Singapore wins, to be honest. At least at this point in my life right now.
For your career?
Exactly, yeah. It's my grinding country.
And you can also go work in the US without they have like a free trade or something there where you can work in the US.
Oh yeah, it makes it like slightly easier to get the visa. But for me, it's the currency, the grinding culture, if I'm going to be completely honest. Like, I know I was saying a lot of things.
You're a hard worker, though. You've always been.
Try. But yeah, just honestly, just those two things. And I think, the cleanliness, obviously, the safety.
Yeah,
the
toilets in Malaysia.
That is the number one thing for
me. I think it's a true low for us. It's a true epic low, the toilets in this country.
Oh my God. When I arrived at the
everybody step on the toilet seat.
When I came to the airport, like literally just now.
Yeah, she came
the first thing that I saw when I went to the toilet was the shoes on the toilet seat.
I was like, what are you surfing up there?
I was like, I'm back in Malaysia now.
Oh, we're home. The stench.
I love the little bidet though.
Oh yeah, who doesn't love a bidet?
Like, love that. Don't have that in Singapore.
So I'll always be Team Malaysia. You'll be Team
Singapore.
Okay.
Day one.
So are you ready for our little segment?
Yes.
1 second. Okay.
Ooh, this is so cute.
Are we rolling?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have here our little Malaysia, Singapore little thingamajigs. And basically, they're going to read out, our little production assistants are going to read out certain phrases and we're going to decide like, is it Singapore or is it Malaysia? So if I say something like chewing gum, Malaysia.
Oh, like it's applicable to like
what, like if just say like, if what word or what phrase is giving Singapore? Is it giving Malaysia? Okay? Is it giving?
Is it giving?
Okay.
Oh, that's a cute little game.
Yeah. So is it giving? All right.
Okay, weather.
Weather? I'll give it to Malaysia. More trees.
Char kway teow?
Duh.
Unfortunately. What? There's this one nasi lemak place in Singapore. Okay.
No. Everybody thinking this 21-year friendship.
Roti canai or roti prata? Chicken rice.
Excuse me, ma'am. Fucking rude.
I do give it to Singapore. I've had epic chicken rice in Singapore.
Language, Manglish or Singlish?
Seriously?
It's growing on me. Honestly, it's growing on me. I love the little like, I love it now.
Did you see people said it sounds very similar to a Nigerian accent? Singaporean accent? We'll research this later.
Culture. Best beaches.
Oh,
Best
come
beaches?
on. Come on.
No, Sentosa.
Sentosa
forever.
Friendly to tourists.
I think Singapore is more manageable for tourists.
Sorry, yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Budget friendly. Clubs.
Oh, I haven't been clubbing in Singapore, but I think I'm going to give it to Singapore.
Actually,
but I fucking hate the clubbing scene here. Maybe I'm just old.
Actually, no. It's
Unless I'm
honestly
old.
really expensive in Singapore.
Okay, just say we're unlimited budget.
Oh. Fuck yeah.
Bars.
I'm going to give it to Singapore.
Living cost. Road trip.
Oh.
What, road trip? 30-minute drive across the whole country, is it? Malaysia?
Excuse me, it's like an hour and a half.
Apologies.
Okay.
Apologies.
From one end to the other.
That's just clang to KL on a bad day.
Family.
Family. Malaysia. Come on. Come on, my sister.
Yeah, literally.
Driving or traffic.
Traffic, which is worse? I kind of think Singapore
Malaysia's
would be worse.
No, Malaysia's worse. Oh, as in which is worse?
Yeah.
Oh, which is worse?
I think Singapore would be worse.
This is worse.
Let's go worse. Public transport.
I was like,
No,
excuse
I
me.
wouldn't front like that.
Street cleanliness.
Duh.
Rules.
Duh.
Rules?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait, which is worse?
No, which one's giving rules? It's giving.
Restrictions. Government. Single men/women.
I don't know that.
Singapore.
Sometimes I've seen cuter guys from Singapore on Bumble. Then they come to KL from Singapore, they're cuter.
Yeah, I'll say that, yeah.
Coffee.
I love my kopi peng.
Safety.
What's kopi peng?
I buy for you tomorrow.
No, because I don't know if I like the same thing.
It's a rich Chinese style coffee.
Is it the one with the milk?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I like that too.
So good.
I think it's like called kopi C. Yeah,
white coffee.
So good.
White
yeah,
coffee.
yeah. So good. Sorry.
Internet speed.
Huh. I also don't know lah. I'll just give it to Singapore because I think they'd probably have it.
100%.
Freedom. Salary. Currency. Fashion.
Honestly, yeah.
Cost of being out.
It's giving cheaper.
It is.
That's it.
That was so fun. I love that.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching a very chaotic episode.
It was
this
quite
battle
chaotic.
royale, obviously I think Malaysia won and obviously Natasha thinks Singapore won. So comment below who won. And please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much. Stay safe and stay woke. Bye!